So the transfer saga that has been going on for ages is finally over. Kylian Mbappe is a Real Madrid player now, and it's not even surprising anymore. It was always a matter of when rather than if he'll join Real Madrid, and the time has come. 2024 will be remembered as the year when another one of football's most impactful transfers took place. Like when Cristiano Ronaldo decided to move from Man United to Real Madrid, and that was a shift of power in European football. And I know that the argument would be that Real Madrid is already a European powerhouse, but there will be wider implications of this move. For example, La Liga will get a boost in their viewership and fan following, and Ligue 1 may see a downfall. Anyways, we have discussed how this move can impact European football in another video, which you can watch here. But another major point of discussion is Real Madrid has tried signing Mbappe 3 times in the past. And in 2022, after having a verbal agreement to join Real, he renewed his contract with PSG, which for Real Madrid fans felt like a betrayal. And although people have moved on and somewhat understand why he did what he did, but it's not like he's beginning with a clean slate. So here are a few points which I believe he needs to fulfill to first be considered an essential part of Real Madrid team and then be a success at the Spanish capital. So without any further ado, let's begin our video. Yes, the first and the foremost thing that has to happen is his teammates or the fans in general should see him as a part of the team, a team player, which is not the perception about Mbappe right now, to be honest. Let me explain. Mbappe till now has had a good career, but a strange one. He from a very young age was supposed to do the big things in football, and he was in the right trajectory. He won the French league with Monaco and took that side to the Champions League semi-finals, and that made him a teenage star at just 18. Ideally, his next club should have been a place where he improved as a footballer but also learned what it means to be a part of the team. Like Ronaldo at Man United, he was a talent, but his level of maturity as a footballer improved playing under manager like Sir Alex Ferguson with senior players like Scholes, Ferdinand, Roy Keane, etc. When such personalities see you train and play every day, it keeps your ego in check, and that for me played a major role in making Ronaldo the footballer he is. But with Mbappe, it was like he skipped that step. After Monaco, he was wanted by Real, but he opted to stay in France, joining PSG, and the examples he saw there was, let's say, not ideal. First, he saw how Neymar got all the perks, how there was a lack of professionalism, but still he was the main man at PSG. A bad example. Then by 22-23, he himself became that person in PSG, overtaking Neymar. Now the team played for Mbappe. In the age where he was supposed to learn the importance of being a team player and sacrificing for the team, he became the star of the team. He was in a place where he don't even have to track back, and it was fine with everyone. That's unhealthy. And I get that it was not only Mbappe's fault, it was also PSG and the things they do to keep their superstars happy. And as a footballer, that creates a false sense of expectations from your surroundings. Anyways, the point is, it is important that the senior players and the culture of the club sets an example for the young players. But everything that we have seen of PSG's culture, it gives negative vibes. And the senior members of the club are obviously at fault here. To keep Mbappe, the president gave him more power than he was supposed to at that age. It was said that he'll have a say in the signings and how the team will play going forward. And at 23, those things will only enlarge your ego. But now that he'll be a part of a team with proper culture, with players in the dressing room that have won it all, Mbappe cannot take the same attitude in there. And I know that he's clever like that, but he will have to show that he wants to be the part of the team. And he would do things that will help the team and not himself. And if that doesn't happen, it won't take fans long to realize that there is a problem with him. And it doesn't matter how good he plays, his importance in the team and with fans will be diminished. But on the other side, if he follows the Real Madrid culture and is liked in the dressing room, everything will fall in place for him. Now this must not be a surprise after the first point, but yes, he now should focus on playing football for a bit. Kylian Mbappe is a good footballer, but it has been some time since I talked about the goals he scored for PSG. And to be honest, I didn't even see most of the goals he scored this season. I saw him sending letters to PSG hierarchy, then there was a buzz around how he was not taken for the pre-season at Japan, then how his relation is suffering with Nasser Al Khelaifi, then how he is ready to sacrifice his bonus first to play for PSG then to leave PSG, and before this year, it was how he was forced by the French president and the Qatari people to stay at PSG, how his wages are astronomical, how he has been given an unfair amount of power in the club. I mean, where's the football in all this? The last time we talked about Mbappe with association to his football was in the World Cup. And again, I understand it is because of PSG's environment, but year after year, his controversies are more talked about than his football, and he must change that. And for some time, he should be a football player and not just a celebrity. Now he knows that everything he says will be used by the media to make stories, and he is a smart talker, but he will have to take extra care now that he'll be dealing with Spanish media. He has to make sure that he must not do or say stuff that will take people's focus from football to whatever that activity is, and put all of his focus in the footballing side of things. Now, it's not about the left wing. He basically must be ready to sacrifice himself for the team. Sacrificing his ego, his position on the pitch, his style of play. Basically, if he is required to change anything that will help the team, he must be open to accepting that change. At Real Madrid, there's gonna be 3 world-class players whose preferred position is the left wing: Vini, Rodrigo and Mbappe. If any of them played in any other team, every single one would have been the main man of that team, and that left wing would have belonged to that person. But here at Real Madrid, all 3 of them will be playing together. Now the strange part of all this is Vini and Rodrigo both played in the left wing this season, and this happened because of Carlo Ancelotti. One player would be on the left side for some time and other will roam, then they will change positions. So Ancelotti found a good way to use the quality that both players had in the left wing and made it a free role for them. That created an overload on the left side, with players like Carvajal and Fede making runs on the free spaces in the right side. And all of this worked well this season because players were not stubborn and were ready to sacrifice. And that created a free-flowing attack for Real Madrid this season. Now, if Vini came out in an interview saying, "I'm playing more on the middle this year and I don't prefer that," it would have created disharmony in the dressing room. But players are happy to play any role to help the team, and Mbappe has to have that attitude. We have seen in the past that he has complained when he had to play as number 9, but he cannot be doing that at Real Madrid. And the best part of all this is he'd be playing under Carlo Ancelotti, and he never shies away from changing a player's position if he feels that would benefit the team. He did it with Bellingham now and with players like Kaká and Pirlo in the past, and can do it again with Kylian if needed. It can be a 4-4-2 or 4-3-3, but I'm expecting Mbappe to have a hybrid role next season, interchanging with both Vini and Rodrigo to create an attack that can be unpredictable. And if Mbappe is ready to accepting the changes, it will create a positive impact in the dressing room, because when a player of Mbappe's stature is sacrificing for the team, other players will also be happy to do the same for him as well, and then the kind of attack this team can potentially create will be out of this world. Mbappe was always expected to reach great heights in football. Since he broke out, people expected him to be the next big thing after Messi and Ronaldo, and he has not reached their levels yet. See, I get that those are some extraordinary expectations, but listen, Mbappe is not any regular footballer. He has never been that. He has always been special. He took the French team to the World Cup win when he was just 18 and won the Young Player of the Tournament award. And by the next World Cup, he won the Golden Boot award. So he has given some exceptional performances at the highest of stages, especially playing for his national team. But there is a limit to the time that he can spend with them. But with PSG, it was always going to be the Champions League if he wanted to prove his worth, because Ligue 1 and the French Cup are not the toughest trophies to win if you play for PSG. So with them, he was always operating within this boundary, and that won't be the case anymore. Messi and Ronaldo, by the age of 25, had won everything in club football. It was them who carried their respective teams to the Champions League finals. And now Mbappe, in terms of his performances on the field, has to reach the next level. He now has to win the Champions League, being the player who contributes in the most important matches. And if you are being honest, he has all the potential to achieve that. See, there are certain things that a footballer must do to get accepted by the fans. Let me explain this with an example. Gareth Bale was a class apart in terms of his game. He was fast, strong, technical, strong in the air, and had a powerful left foot. Basically, he was a cheat code on the field, but was never a player who would go on the team dinners or give media interviews. He never cared about creating a positive PR in Spain. And that's alright for me. You do your job on the field and then spend your time with your family. Nothing wrong with that. But I think Spanish public had different feeling, and with time, it created a scenario where he was not the most appreciated player amongst the fans. It was a feeling that the fans don't regard Gareth Bale as one of their own, and when he started getting injured, he slowly lost that place in the team. And that was fine with the fans. They were happy to see Isco playing on the right. And that's not a good feeling, because this can impact your game, and also maybe the coach's decision to select that player or not. Now comparing that with Vini or even Bellingham, these guys, they give interviews, they try to be more interactive with the media, the fans, creating a positive sense of togetherness with the people of Madrid. So even when Vini underperforms and is criticized by the whole world, the people of Madrid are with him. He's loved at the Bernabeu. So when he steps on the field, he has this added motivation to perform. Bellingham is from England, and within 1 year, he has given some interviews in Spanish, spoke to the fans in the UCL celebrations in Spanish, and this has created a connect with the fans. And I'm sure when the player have this feeling that no matter what, the people of the city are with me, it must surely make the player feel stronger on the field as well. Mbappe once said that he learned Spanish for the day that he'd be presented at the Bernabeu, and he is someone who talks sensibly. So I believe he has the potential to become one of the fan favorites, but he has to play his cards right, and I personally think that he will be liked a lot at the Bernabeu. And Mbappe, if you're listening, have limited interactions with the media when you go for the international breaks. It will help you a lot. See, although I'm talking about the stuff that Mbappe should improve, that he should change, but I must also acknowledge the fact that PSG has also been unprofessional on their part, as the things they did to keep him at the club were borderline illegal. The interview that Mbappe gave recently, where he said that he was told violently that he won't play the whole season and it was Luis Enrique and Campos who saved him. And now we hear that he was not given the salary for last 3-4 months and the supposed bonus as well. See, all of this creates a negativity, and I don't know how a player can play under these circumstances, but still, Mbappe scored more than 35 goals. And now after so many years, he will have a chance to play without these baggages. And it would be good to see him express himself on the field. Now, I have discussed 5 major points that I feel he has to take care of. But having said that, I believe that him being at Madrid will be a good thing for both the player and the club. So I'm looking forward to next season. And that will be the video, guys. Thank you for watching this. Like if you found it interesting. Comment down your thoughts. You know that I'll respond to every single one of them. Subscribe to Football Ledger. See you on the next one. Ciao.